Hey guys, Rexasaur here, and welcome to Update Monday. I was looking at the time, not at the date, it's not always going to work, 15th of November 2021. It's Monday, it's been a week. What has happened in this week? Quite a lot of stuff. I had 3 days in a row of D&D last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which were all really, really good. I'm really getting back into D&D, which is nice. I mean, I've been back into D&D for the past, few months, but it all culminated last week, where the reason why I'm having to do 2 days is because on the Tuesday, before going away for 2 weeks with my girlfriend, the party split, or decided to split off to focus on 2 different things that were happening in the game world, based around 2 characters' backstories. So I was I presented them with the thought that they were either going to ignore them because there is a third thing happening, which is time-based to an extent, giving them just enough time to do maybe one of them, but then they were like, nah, we're just going to do both, but we're going to split the party, which is oh, okay. So which is why I had to do Tuesday and Wednesday, but both of these are happening and they're going really well so far. At least I feel like they're going well. I hope the players think of that as well. One of them is going through a large jungle temple, and the other is going to a very large volcano, so that's always fun. And they've all had encounters and things happening, and they're yet to get to the juicy stuff, although I have sprinkled a little thing so that they can get prepared for it, so that'll be nice. And then Thursday, usual Lord of the Rings D&D, really, really fun. All of our choices from the previous session that we had came to fruition in this session we just had, where it was like this guy, the village are undecided whether or not to trust you, but you did this, which is a good thing, and this, which is a good thing, but this, which is a bad thing. So it felt very much like a sway of oh my god, the decisions that I've made until now is going to decide the outcome. And we had enough checks where it went positive our way, and then Cucumber, who's playing our ranger type, just pulled off the best shot at the pivotal moment that could really have swung everything against us. It was so cool. In my mind, it was just so cool because we were all at the front of the gate arguing our case. The big traitorous person sees that he's losing ground, so he goes to kill the chief, and then Ragnar, who is Cucumber's character, just fires off a shot, slits him in the throat, and it was so cool. Yeah, it was good. That was a really, really fun session. It was also fun because we had an encounter in the village afterwards that happened before any of us rested fully, which means we were basically on the ropes. We had 0 abilities left, and we were just fighting. It was tense, but it was good, or at least it felt tense for me. Just because I'm playing a barbarian, which means I'm used to having a protection of rage, but I didn't have any rages left. For people who don't know what D&D is, you lost completely, I bet, but effectively damage I take is halved, and it was good. But I didn't have that, but we still managed to get through, so very happy. So that was all the D&D stuff. Yesterday we watched Ocean's 11 with the group. Such a good movie. It comes under those types of movies where it's easy viewing, I think is the term, where you put it on, you don't really need to pay that much attention. You kind of just looking at it and watching it for the what's happening on screen without having to really understand. And especially since it's a heist movie, it's kind of you would think that you need to pay attention to understand what they're all doing, but it's so obviously the way in which it's filmed and the way in which there's half flashbacks, half this is what's going on at the same time. It's just filmed really, really well for easy viewing, and I didn't realise until I'd watched it yesterday just how expertly directed that movie is to ensure that despite being a complicated heist, it's easy to understand for everyone who's watching. So yeah, really, really fun. We had a lot of fun watching it. And next week we got Ocean's 12, so it'll be good. Yeah, really, really fun movie. Very enjoyed. What else? I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order. I'm going to go on a little rant about Jedi Fallen Order, if that's okay with you guys. Even if it's not, you're here for Update Monday. The reason why I purchased Jedi Fallen Order, and I purchased the PS4 edition because there's a free PS5 upgrade, but I've got the PS4 box, which is kind of like So I purchased it because I'd finished Ghost of Tsushima completely. I've still got the Legends mode, but I'm not that fussed on it. I'll probably go back to it at some point, but so I was like, and this weekend, so this Saturday, the physical copy of Kenna Bridge of Spirits comes out, which is a game I've been really looking forward to since the pre-launch trailers of all the games coming to the PS5, back before the PS5 actually launched. Kenna Bridge of Spirits was always a game that I was absolutely like, oh my god, I need this game. So that's coming out on Saturday, which means I had like 2-week period where there was a game I could fit in to complete. And Dragon's been talking about Jedi Fallen Order for a while now, and I watched my friend Josh play through it, and I actually played a bit of it, and I enjoyed what I played of it when I was at Josh's, although this might be why I don't enjoy the game. I completed it yesterday, but I don't enjoy the game. Why don't I enjoy Jedi Fallen Order? Well, so when I played at Josh's, it was the end of the game, so I had all the abilities unlocked. I had like basically all the abilities unlocked is like the major thing, and also the story was culminating to like this gritty, awesome like ending point. It's really cool. So I felt like a Jedi because I was fighting off stormtroopers and all that stuff. It was great. Until, sorry, I am still working, obviously, as usual. There's not much going on, but there was a big chat, and it was like, oh my god, do I need to do something? But I don't. However, when you start the game, you have no abilities. You have absolutely no abilities. Like, I thought, oh, you're a Jedi, at least you're going to, like, force pull, force push, something like that. Nah, you don't get shit. You have to unlock lightsaber throw as an ability. Your force push, force pull, what else? There's like your double jump, which is sure. Wall running, all of that is unlocked story locked, which means you need to progress the story to get them. It's so fucking dumb. The combat is so unresponsive compared to Ghost of Tsushima. And this is my biggest gripe, and I think this is why I don't like the game. It's because I played Ghost of Tsushima beforehand, and the combat in Ghost of Tsushima is absolutely fantastic. It's super responsive. If you make a mistake, it's completely your fault, because if you block, your block supersedes any attack that you're doing. So you can like pause an attack to block. Unless you're doing like one of the big attacks, you can just like, I'm swinging, no, I'm not blocking, because you're a trained super cool samurai dude, so it makes sense. Ghost of Tsushima also, you can choose not to block if you don't want to. You can just cancel an attack and dodge instead, and dodging is a completely valid form of combat. Blocking gives you more resolve, which you use resolve to do special moves, and dodging gives you nothing unless you've got some power-ups that allow you to get resolve from it. Jedi Fallen Order, if you do an attack, you have to go with it, and you can't block or dodge. You have to resolve the attack, which means you get hit a lot, because the attacks, unlike in Ghost of Tsushima, which are always, depending on your stance, to be sure, and if you're doing a power attack or a normal attack, they're always the same speed. So you know exactly, when you've been playing a while in the game, you know exactly how long an attack is going to take, and if you have time to like do an attack on someone. Jedi Fallen Order, you don't do that. The attacks are entirely dependent on where you are at the moment, and some of them range from being very quick to being incredibly slow. And it also depends on whether or not the opponent is blocking, parrying, or if he's going to do a timed parry, because they can do that, or if he's just going to dodge. Or if he's attacking as well. It also depends on if they're attacking. Which means you can never really know what the hell you're doing, and I just didn't like it. Also, Ghost of Tsushima, the character auto locks on the nearest person, and you can just switch that willy-nilly, but you don't have to adhere to that. The camera doesn't lock on that person, the character does. In Jedi Fallen Order, your character doesn't lock on anyone, but if you lock on someone, the camera locks on him as well. Who decided that was a good idea? It's great for boss fights, sure, I'll allow that. It's great for boss fights. Not great for that kind of multiple hack and slasher. It was described to me as a Dark Souls light, and I think this is where it all goes down the drain because I hate Dark Souls. So that's where it basically I went wrong in buying the game in the first place. I just really didn't like that combat. So firstly, the combat shucks. That's why I said firstly, because there's more stuff. The story is fucking crap until the end. The last maybe 3 levels, so spoilers if you've never played it, you break your lightsaber and you have to go and fix one or make one. From then onwards, the game's really good. Like, story-wise, it's really good. It follows like the painfulness of losing the Jedi Order and then rebuilding, and then what it means to lose your master and everything. It's really, really good. And then the ending, like, reveal, fantastic. The final boss, fantastic. Up until then, I felt like the story was flat-footed, absolutely useless. Like you have like this really deep emotional character moment between you and like one of the crew, who's saying about how like, oh, you know, before you two came along, I was nothing, and it's like, I've known you for one world. Like, I do not have any attachment to you as a player right now. You probably will down in the line. Also, a lot of the character building is done through optional conversation, which means that later, when they have actual cutscenes, you don't really know what they're talking about, or you don't know these personalities traits unless you specifically like waited and talked to them, because there are several options where you can, and those take forever. I did 1 or 2 of them at the beginning, and I was like, Jesus Christ, it's taken like 4 minutes of gameplay just to have this conversation. I don't care. Visually, it's nice. And then we get on to the third annoying point. The planets. So, there's only 5 worlds. There's technically 2 others, but they're like temporary story based. There are 5 worlds. Those 5 worlds, you go back and forth several times as more areas unlock, and you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth through all these 5 planets. I hate that game concept so much because you're having to retrace your steps so many times. I understand to an extent, but like, there are games that have done this. I'm going to compare this to my favourite franchise, Ratchet and Clank, who maybe not so much in this iteration of it, but the PS2 versions, especially Ratchet and Clank 2 and 3, which are the ones I played the most, you did go back to worlds. You obviously needed to for collectibles, but there were like 1 or 2 worlds where you needed to go to an end, realise, oh shit, I need this thing, go to a world again, get that thing and come back. Do you know what they did to prevent you from having to walk all the way back to that thing? They had fast travel teleporters. Oh my god, crazy. It's almost as if that concept was done in 2003. Mental. Do you know what they have in this game? Fuck all. You have to walk the whole fucking way, and then there are shortcuts which just allow you to like bypass a tiny bit of terrain, which you could just go around. It'll be quicker because the shortcuts all look weird, out of the way, and are pointless. The map, I understand. Like, a lot of people, I think, probably have an issue with the map. I can sort of understand the map. The navigation tools are a bit shit, but it's also huge. Like, this is why Ratchet and Clank has something like between 10 and 25 worlds, because the worlds, although there are like lots of them, they're small, they're circular, they're really easy to navigate. You'd spend like maybe an hour to 2 hours. Some worlds obviously take them a bit longer, but you don't spend that long in them and you're fine. And then those worlds that you have to come back to, sure, they're bigger, but you have your teleporters. Here, these worlds are fucking huge, which means the amount of walking that you do, the amount of wall running, vine swinging, whatever, you just do a fuck ton of it. And it's fucking just, it's so crap. It's so crap. I don't want to see the same fucking like corridor 9 times because I'm looking for one chest that happens to be somewhere in that middle bit, or something like that, or I don't want to have to travel down this corridor because I killed all the enemies in this and it turns out it was a temporary corridor, or not like a what's it called, not temporary, the other word, the optional, there we go, an optional corridor that I didn't actually need to go to, but it's badly like indicated or whatever. It doesn't really make sense. Either way, atrocious. And then I had a final point, but I've forgotten what it was, which means that it obviously wasn't as griping as the other ones. Yeah. Do I recommend it? No, I can't. It's not my kind of game. I definitely won't be playing the sequel. The only reason I'm playing through it is because it's short. By the time I'd realised how much... Like, the thing is, I kept playing it and just being like, I know that I enjoyed this at one point, so I'm just going to keep playing until I find that. And then when I found it, I realised how close to the end of the game it was. And I was like, oh, okay, it's okay. Also, the game's really short. Like, I'd say really short. It's like 20-something hours. It's just not very good. So yeah, I wasted most of my life on that, but it's okay because Kenna Bridge of Spirits comes out on Saturday, so I technically wasted my life doing something when I could have been playing something else, but I don't think I could have been playing anything else because the other games that I've got on my list are the Mass Effect trilogy again, because I want to do a full Renegade playthrough, which is going to take something like 60 hours, so maybe not, and Horizon Zero Dawn before the next game comes out, which is also like a 30, 40, 50 hour game, and I'm like, that's a lot of time when I have a game coming out this weekend. So yeah, that's that. So there we go, that was my rant. I hope you guys enjoyed my rant. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, what else? That's about it. That's all I got. Oh no, I'll probably discuss it another. Either way, I've been looking through like a lot of the shit I own, Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering cards, and things like that. Because I've recently gone back into card games. I've been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering online, not online, Magic Arena, which is really, really fun. It's just mindless fun at this point. I got myself a dumb deck, which is working very well. But yeah, and I found some really good fun cards. So that's nice. But the reason why I've been going through them is just because I want to know what I've got, because I'm probably going to get rid of them all at some point because I don't really like the things. They don't waste that much space, but they kind of do at the same time. But also I played a bunch of Magic the Gathering with my friend Josh when I went over his, so I was going through my Magic cards to be like, okay, what can we play, how can I improve the decks I already have, all that kind of stuff, and I've got some nice ideas for that, so that's nice. What else? That's about it. I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to make this too long because apparently some people watch this in their lunch break. Who the fuck does that? When I fucking record this during work. Yeah, anyway. That's all I got to say. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a good week. And I will talk to you next week. Also, I'm in my dressing gown because it's cold. I do have a proper shirt on. Thank you. I thought I'd address that right now. But yeah, I have to go and return some tapes, so I will see you guys next time. Ta-ra.